Took me virtually no time to get moved from one show to the next. Still the 3rd of June, and we are going to open this roll. We have a really old, what is that? That's actually medical gauze tape. And then we have original paper down there underneath our foil. So let's see exactly what we have in this old foil wrapped roll. Doesn't look like there's any special color on the end roll or end coin as far as I can see. Let's see what we have here. Go ahead and finish getting this pulled out of the foil. There's that. National Stockyards, National Bank of National City, Illinois. So this is National Stockyards, National Bank of National City, Illinois. I have never heard of National City, Illinois, but I'm sure it's there. This is an old original roll, 1959 Denver. And we're going to open it up, start going through it. For the people who have purchased spots in this roll, purchasing spots in rolls happens on Monday night. Just did a show at 7 o'clock this evening for rolls to be opened in the future. Next Monday we will do the same again. Do this pretty much every week. I've been a little scarce here and there as far as broadcasting is concerned. I've had a number of issues to work through so far this year, but I have persevered one way or another. Alright, here we go. Going to take the paper over the coins. Coins will spill out the bottom. And there they are. Watch what I'm doing here. Make sure they stay in the same order. These are going to come out in the exact same order they went in. And there we are. Tend to scooch around a little bit on this cardboard. But the cardboard's the only way. I'd probably get some white fabric or something eventually, but the black fabric doesn't work for my camera. That's why I switched over to white, so you can see the numbers and everything. All of the coins are spoken for, and all of the rolls that I'm doing this week, they've all already sold. Alright, so there we go. Orig is going to come out with coin number 1 here. So we got a lot of different things we could be looking for in these. And here is coin number 1. Pretty nice condition these coins are in. They are certainly not dirty and not banged up. They're not moisture ridden. Let's see what we have here on coin number 1. If we have anything, I don't see anything coming out coin number 1. Still going to check the first 10 coins on the reverse. 1959D is a little better known for double die reverses than 1960D was, but still yet they're not highly common. Not real exciting that I've seen ever. So we're going to check the first 10 coins anyway. See what we see here. Oh, Malcolm. Good evening, sir. Alright, so Orig is going to get a normal coin. Never a good sign when your first coin comes out normal, but hey, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Let's see, coin number 2. This one goes to Mark. So Mark got coin number 1 last time. This time he gets coin number 2. And, well, it appears that coin number 2 is going to turn out not having anything more than coin number 1 did. There's some concentric die scratches up there in the top of In God We Trust. Nice earlier die state coin. Doesn't show us anything though. Nothing of particular intrigue here. Just a 1959D Lincoln cent. Pretty nice one. Alright, Coin numbers 1 and 2 are both normal. Let's see if we can change that. Coin number 3 for Taco John. See what we end up with here. Stay there till you get it right. Something fell off my desk. That doesn't surprise me a whole lot. I kind of sort of see the makings of an RPM there, but man, we're just not going to be able to call this one. It's just too close. I can see a very, very minor split in the upper and lower serif, but they're just so minor. As soon as you circulate something like this or wear it down a little bit, wear the die down, you're going to miss that die. And I don't like creating very minor listings just to make them difficult to find. We can accept the fact that there's going to be some very minor hub doubling that will be more or less within basic tolerance. If you're not looking at it with a 100x loop, you're not going to see it. That's the kind of stuff I kind of leave behind. Sissy comes up next. What do we got for Sissy? Ooh, late die state. Late die state. Nothing there that I can see. Looks like a whole different pile of coins. That one was taken from. Could have been a different bag. Could have just been a different press. But it's definitely not one we've seen the likes of so far. So, we look at it, check it closely, checking our list, checking it twice. Checking our pennies because it's our vice. Roger. Roger, let's see what Roger gets. Nope. Nothing on that AI coin. That's some nice earlier die state coins, but it doesn't appear that there are any varieties in this roll so far. That is a somewhat common thing. But you never know. We could be on the verge of making a discovery that changes the world we live in. In one very small way. Got nothing there. Let's move on. Coin number 6. Stan. And Stan. Hey, looky there. We got ourselves a nice RPM going on right here. I am not familiar, unfortunately, with this one. I'm going to call this one probably in the first 5 listed RPMs. It's not number 1, number 2, or number 5, but I don't know which one it is. Very nice looking RPM, though. Too bad it's got a little damage on the 9, but that's striking damage. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't amount to much else. Reverse side. Always got to remember to check your reverses. You could have double dies with your RPMs. Never know when you could run into a double variety. Double dies and RPMs are created in a completely different part of the process of making dies. So it is very possible to have both. But we don't have it here. But Stan gets a nice RPM to start it off. Coin number 6, first RPM this roll. Coin number 7. Now for Crispy. Coin number 7 for Crispy. Let's see what Crispy gets. We're back to normal coins, Daddy-O. Number 7 still within the first 10, so we're going to check this. For hub doubling, and we're kind of getting to a point where we're not really expecting any hub doubling on these coins, but you never know. All it takes one. That's all it takes is one single coin. And that could change the world we live in. That's right. Even just a little bit. And for very few. It's the things dreams are made of. Let's see here. I don't see anything else on this one. This is that same one that's got those bunch of little concentric die scratches running through Liberty. I thought I saw a thread on one coin before, but I don't think that's a thread. That is actually a die gouge. So it marks nothing. Here's coin number 9. Otis. Oh, we got nice RPM coming out of the roll. The problem is we're not seeing a lot of them at all. Only a couple. One so far, actually. Coin number 6. It's a nice RPM. Two last chances to come up with a double die on the reverse of 1959D. Coin number 9 did not do it. On to coin number 10. And Jordan. Oh, Jordan gets one of them. Nice RPM. Did anybody tell me which RPM this is? I guess not. I think I'm going to check real quick. Just because I can. Let's see. And 1959 Denver repunch mint marks. And turns out this is number 10. RPM number 10. Here's my website. Looking at 7, 8, 9, and then 10 down here. And that matches what we're seeing on our coin. Let me move this over a little bit so you can see them together. So we have number 10 coming up in multiples. Jordan is our second example of RPM number 10. And would you know, Jordan's coin is number 10. Taco John up next. What we got for Taco John? Well, it's not another number 10. Not an RPM this time around. Looks like we've only got the one RPM so far. Two examples of it. Keep flipping through the coins in this roll to see if we can come up with more. Number 12 now for Parvis, Jordan's grandpa. And let's see. Not one for grandpa. Oop. How about number 13? Back to Roger. Does Roger get lucky? No, Roger does not get lucky. Hey, if it were up to me, we'd open this roll and all 50 coins would be really nice. RPMs and double dies. I have no pony in this show. These coins were purchased before I knew what they were, so they belong to y'all, not to me. All I'm doing here is checking what they are. Alright, nothing there on that one. Going to have some other rolls coming up this week. I've got 3 rolls scheduled for tomorrow. And then there's 4 rolls remaining this week for me to do. That's beyond and aside from doing the auction, which will be tomorrow evening. So I've got 3 reveals during the day tomorrow, and then the auction tomorrow evening. This one is also... That's really minor. Eric, are you still here? Eric. Give me a hi, how do you do? We're going to probably try to keep this one. But I want Eric to say, yeah, we should keep that one. You got splits on the upper and the lower, but they're really kind of minor. They're very hard to see. I don't know if this might be one that is already listed. If it's already listed, we will definitely be keeping up with this. I have seen at least 2 others in this roll so far, so they'll have to be bled out from the coins that we've already seen, even if I do decide to keep this one out. It is quite minor, but this is something that you would find in the Wexler files. You probably would not be able to find this in Coneca. It is a real RPM. So, in that thought, I'm thinking we should probably keep it. That and Roger Borland says too. So this one goes to Doug. We've got some markers worth watching for here. You may have some of these set aside you couldn't find listed. Well, let's look and see if we have any real markers. We've got a die scratch going against the grain on these others from the chin. Also have a pretty heavy die scratch coming straight up out of the 9. Hello, Mr. Hernandez. Let's see here. We got a pretty heavy die scratch coming off the west part of the 9, west part of the R, going straight down. So that should give us enough of an opportunity to say, yeah, we got something here. So let's just keep it and see what happens. I'm not going to pick the other ones out from the roll. I'll keep them from here forward. Eric will find all of them, because Eric separates these coins by die, and then he separates them by person. So he looks for all the RPMs and double dies first, rechecking my work, because, well, I'm kind of doing a show here. If I was really doing a study where I was really looking into everything, I'd be checking both sides of every coin. I'd be spending 2 or 3 minutes on each side with a very powerful microscope, and would be running a quite boring show, because there are a lot of things that go into studying these dies that take way too much time for the attention span of a show. We do what we can. So we're up to number 18 now. Taco John. Still looking for now 2 different RPMs. And keep running into this later die state example. That's, if you ever have a question as to what die state is, die state and die stages are 2 different things. Die state is how old was that die at the time it struck a coin. So you're basically asking how many strikes came before this, and that is a show of wear on the die. Anytime you have these coins where the outer edges of the lettering starting to get really fuzzy with the die flow, that's a later die state. Later die state, earlier die state. Now within this die state you could possibly have a crack from the 1 to the 9 in the date, and this one doesn't have it, so this would be an earlier stage than the one with the crack. Nobody accesses Wechsler's files beyond what's published on doubledie.com. Daniel Griffin is working on getting everything listed over there, but has not yet accomplished the task in full. But you can follow the website while these are being listed. We are working diligently to try to make cross-references to what's listed there with the dies that we have listed that are not yet crossed anywhere. We're trying to cross to the Wechsler listings first. Then we will work on finishing off Kaneka listing crosses. Reason for that is that the Wechsler files are more comprehensive, more complete. There are a lot of things that may or may not ever get listed in the Kaneka files. So this has very similar upper and lower split to the previous. However, this one doesn't have the same markers. So this one would have to be yet another different die. So we've got 3 different dies now. 2 of them showing very minor splits on the upper and lower. And the other being RPM 10. This one goes to Eric, so Eric will be able to study this one up. See what it is. Number 21 now. Off to Ant land. Let's see what Ant gets. And Ant can't seem to get good luck with this roll. So far, anyway. Got nothing there. That's number 21, now 22. Mr. Macumba. It is 20:34 hours, 8:34 p.m. And it is still daylight here in southern North Carolina. Eastern North Carolina, you might say. Well, I have another one of those, so I'm just going to start stacking them. There's a little split on the lower serif. That's for Dan. Going 23 now for Carl. Carl, let's see what Carl gets. Different die altogether. And shows me nothing. Knew it was a different die because of all this chatter going on the outside rim. Haven't seen that yet in this roll. So it is a new die as presented to me. And the 23rd coin of the roll. Yeah, Louisiana is in the southern time zone, or in the eastern central time zone, though. See, I live hundreds of miles east of you. Eric and I live in the same time zone, but I've got to go like I've got to go almost 4 hours to the west before I hit the highway that goes by his house. Because the highway that goes by his house isn't even in North Carolina. North Carolina is 600 miles wide. The highway that goes by his house runs through Knoxville, Tennessee. It's actually 2 Ds. Doubledie.com. It's DOUBLEDDIE.com. All right, number 25 now, going on to Otis. So I would have to say that you can count it in degrees. If you can get my coordinates and get your coordinates, you can tell in degrees how far apart that is. And if you can count it down to degrees, minutes, and seconds, you can tell how many miles exactly you would be west of me. Most people who are east of my current position are in Delaware, New Jersey, New York, or farther northeast. Got nothing on that one. This one Doesn't have nearly as many varieties in it, and most of them are not of the highly exciting style. Another coin for Doug here. Give Doug another chance. And Doug gets one. Although it has a little damage on it, it is a nice split upper and lower serif. Nice splits on the serif there. So, unfortunately, we have a coin that's not going to work well for a... It's not going to work very well for a plate coin, but it definitely has the splits. Yeah, there's a lot of them that are not listed. There's a lot of them that are not listed anywhere. I'm sure that there are probably 150 or more different RPMs for the 1959D issue. Nobody has listed all of them yet, I'm sure. We're still discovering new dies just about every week. New dies based on listings that were started in the 1960s. So here we go, continuing our effort to boldly go where no man has gone before. And to reach new heights in the understanding of doubled punches on mint marks on the Lincoln cent. Given that Lincoln cents were made often in the hundreds to thousands multiplied by the number of coins made for nickels, dimes, quarters, there's going to be a lot more die varieties in the Lincoln cent than in those other series. Well, the hit kind of kills it for like repetitive value based on other coins of the same die. But if it's the first one known of any particular die, it could possibly garner $10, $20 even without having a mate and without being a perfect coin. Basically, I wouldn't throw it out. We're getting not a lot going on here. Yes, I do, Dan. I've had it out showing the number inside of it during one of the more recent shows. You want to find one. I'm sure there's a couple hundred of them out there. You just have to figure out who happens to have one available at any given time. Never know when when one of them might show up online. My reference library will be sold after I'm dead, and not before. I have nearly all the books made about the Lincoln cent, even the ones that aren't any good, which is a few. There are a few of them that had very little original effort, basically just repetitive stuff from other books, including images that were used without permission. Stan McDonald is one such case. Just a person who compiles a bunch of pictures that other people have already published and publishes them as his own work. Been doing it for years. I'd like to put a stop to it, but it takes a group effort. I can't do it alone. But he has plagiarized a number of my images and my artwork, my concepts, and doesn't understand the actual processes that create these, nor their values or anything else. He just publishes books because, well, he likes to make money on books. And I say this because it's an easily provable fact that he steals people's images and republishes them as his own. Gives no credit. Person's name again is Stan McDonald. This one for Mickey. Well, let's see if Mickey can bring back the RPM luck we were having earlier. Not yet. Not yet. Mickey likes the coins more than the coins like Mickey, apparently. Mickey's not here to say anything one way or the other. He's going to be going on a long trip before too long, so he's got a lot of prepping to do. Oh, looky there. There's another one of our... That's the same thing as Doug Rezak's coin. Only this one's in better shape. This one goes to Mark. This one does not have the scarring on the mint mark. Oh, I appreciate that, Stephen. I have a hard time understanding how that book got as valuable as it is now, but I should probably put out another edition so that more people can have the book at a reasonable price. This is not going to be anything. It's got that little feathering of die gouges on the edge. Well, yeah, that would be the plate coin if, perchance, we don't already have it listed and photographed under that die state. And if it is, we'll probably leave the photos alone that we have. But yes, it's a candidate for a... Candidate, anyway, for a plate coin. The one for Sissy. And there is another little split serif. That's another one that we have seen already. This one's a pretty example of it. Number 40 now for Carl. And let's see. Another one of our really soft late die state coins. Now this is out of a roll that was foil wrapped, original bank roll. And there's a lot of like up and down hairlines on this. That is going to be the result of a counting wheel. It's barely visible to the naked eye. It's only really visible under a microscope. It's going to affect the grade of the coin slightly. If it was otherwise a near perfect coin, it would probably get no better than a 66 grade with those little marks. There's another one of our little split lower serifs. I'm going to hang on to these for Eric to look at, but don't expect this to be listed. We're just kind of going to check and see if it's already been listed. We're trying to steer away from listing really minor stuff. Number 42 now, Farm Dog. And Farm Dog. There's another one of our minors. This is the one of the better of the minors. This is that first one I started pulling out. So it'll be die number 2 for the roll. Second example, I do believe. First was number 15. Here's number 43 for Paul. And here again, we have another of the same die. The same die. Otis, you've already missed the previous show, which was a 1960D roll. This one, you're down to coin number 44 at this point. But if you hang out, you'll be able to watch this 1970S original bank wrap roll we're going to be doing next. Be show number 623. Doing that tonight, and then tomorrow I've got 3 rolls scheduled, plus the weekly auction. Auction will be lots and lots of bundles of lesser expensive rolls in group lots. One big get you 3, 4, 5, 6 rolls. Kind of like mystery boxes, only a little smaller. All right, Mickey. That's somebody who's going to not like missing this show. He's not around tonight. There you are. Another one of the minor split serifs. Split lower. I do believe that goes in the 4th die pile. And there's 5 or 6 of those pulled out so far. There's one for Sissy. What I like pulling out is RPM number 10, and we've only seen a couple of those. This one is a nothing. Late die state coin. Oh, my 70S roll really wants to be opened. It's rolling around, trying to be a part of the show. This one for Paul. That's number 47. After this, we've got 3 coins left, and then I'll be working on getting ready for the next broadcast. It's another one of our lower split serifs there. Really minor. Not sure it's going to be listable, but if it's already been listed, we will certainly identify it. Now number 48, Eric. Happens to be any small dates in this 1970S roll, we will definitely work on figuring out what they are. Any double dies, anything like that. A lot of good stuff to look for in 1970S, and this is an original sealed roll, so whatever's in it, we're going to find one way or another, right? This one is a nothing. Normal coin here. Need all the likes we can get. Smash that like button for me. It doesn't cost you anything, and it doesn't monetarily help me. All it does is change the algorithm just a little bit on my show so that new people can see the show and come watch it. That's all it does. And this roll is a wrap. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 die varieties in this roll that I could find. And, well, that could go up in number when we go back through the roll again, knowing what we're looking for. But that's that. And for those who will not be able to attend the next show, I wish you well. I know it's getting a little late in the day, but it is 30 minutes, actually 40 minutes early for the show, and I'm going to start it anyway. I figured I would have all of these done before 10 o'clock, and, well, I'm correct. So, go back out in the lobby and meet me at show number 623 coming up here in just a few minutes, and I'll see you then. Have fun.